Life has changed quite considerably for Parisians who'd been cooped up in their flats for about 55 days during this lockdown. They can now venture outside, they can go to parks, they can go to shops that aren't just supermarkets, so they can now buy clothes. And for many people, they can go and get a haircut, something which has been sorely missed. We're seeing businesses reopen, people going back to their offices, and some schools are opening as well. But as you're saying, France is a country now split into two zones, and the northeast of France, where Paris is part of that red zone, where the authorities say that the healthcare services are most at risk from being overwhelmed, but they're not there yet. Now, what that will mean is that in the coming weeks, while the green zone might be able to lift its lockdown measures a little bit quicker, such as reopening bars or bringing secondary schools back into operation, places like here in the capital will have to wait, and there will be more stringent monitoring to see how those infections are gathering pace or if they are going down. If you don't wear a mask, you risk a €135 fine. The other big thing that you notice on the transport network is that there's a lot of stickers around, both on the floor to tell you how to keep your social distance, but also in the carriages, so that there are seats which are demarcated, not suitable for use.
There are different approaches here in different parts of the country, and unlike France, where you've got your agreed green and red zones, disagreement here between the different regions about the best way forward, disagreement between the central government here in London and the regional governments of Scotland and Wales, where the advice remains the same. It is to remain at home. Here in England, they've adopted a more nuanced approach. What they're talking about is the need to stay alert. But the Scottish First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, saying that she doesn't understand what stay alert really means. But we are going to get more detail later after that speech by Boris Johnson on television last night. We're going to get a 50-page document giving more details as to his roadmap out of the lockdown. The headlines that we have so far is that the limit on going out for exercise has been lifted. You can go out as much as you want now. You will be able to meet with somebody else from another household, but only if you do it in a park and respect the rules of social distancing. And as for working, there is new advice, almost a plea, that those who cannot work from home, people in manufacturing industries, should be actively encouraged to return to work now if they can, although not using public transport to get there. And talking of transport, there is also going to be a 14-day quarantine period for people arriving here in the UK, although France and Ireland will be exempted, although so confusion as to whether it only applies to air travellers or not.